find yourself struggling to meet women through online dating apps? Are you tired of constantly swiping left with no success and not knowing what to say to get the attention of a woman? Look no further. Our expert tips and tricks will give you the confidence you need to succeed in the online dating world. It's time to start taking control of your dating life and master the art of online dating. Imagine meeting some of the most attractive women in the world. Our game-changing program will help you navigate the world of online dating with confidence and charm. From creating a standout profile to crafting the perfect message, we've got you covered every step of the way. Our program covers everything you need to know to make a lasting impression. Say goodbye to endless swiping and hello to meaningful connections with the women of your dreams. Join the countless men who have found success in meeting women through online dating by following our time-tested and proven strategies. Take the first step towards improving your dating life today. Master the art of online dating and take your game to the next level. With our proven strategies, you'll be a pro at online dating in no time. So don't wait. Go to onlinedatingfordummies.com and get started today. And take control of your dating life, and you'll be light years ahead of most men with our groundbreaking program. Get ready to swipe right with confidence and watch your success explode. So don't wait. Get started today by going to onlinedatingfordummies.com and take the first step towards finding your perfect match.
Yo! It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. So a question I got is, why does it seem like a lot of women from other countries have issues with men, or just have a lot of social issues and problems? This is a question that I got a couple days ago. And you have to understand that when a lot of these women come over here, they have a lot of problems, a lot of issues with men, just in general. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that these men, you can pick any country. I don't care. You pick any country. I've been to a lot of these countries. I'm not going to sit here and say the majority of these guys and gals have the best relationship in the world. Because if I was to do that, I'd be lying to you. No, actually, if I was to do a comparison, I would say that we have the best relationship with our women over here. If I had to do a comparison with foreigners versus black people in this country, and I said black American people, I gotta be specific when I say this. If I was to do a comparison, I would say we have the best relationships with our women. We actually see our women in a good light, regardless of what you might think about women in this country. Majority of black men that I know see black women of value. They see them as a person, not some old thing or some material or a damn toy or something to just exploit. These other guys, a woman to them is kind of like possession, property. They don't really see their women as, they don't see them the way we do. I tell you that much. Their women, in most cases, is a means to an end. In most cases, regardless of how it might seem like on the outside. When that man is home with this woman, it's a totally different thing. The expectations are totally different. The way he see his wife is totally different. Um, the role of his wife is totally different. You know what I'm saying? It's like even in the bedroom, it's totally different. The most of these guys, I'm gonna say the majority of these women I've met from overseas, from these other countries, they're not being fulfilled and satisfied. And in most cases, is because the guy doesn't care. These other guys look at it like as long as he's fulfilled, that's all that matters. So never assume just because you see this woman, she's a wife and she's married, that she's happy. I would say in most cases, based on my experience, she's probably not happy, and she's probably been unhappy for a long time. But she just she's accepted that this is how it is, this is how it's gonna be, and it's never gonna change. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole different mindset, you know. So see, a lot of these women come over here, they've been had issues with guys. So what you think she gonna forget when she come over here? No, Now, a lot of these women that come over here, they drop their culture and they start acting white or do their own thing, whichever they prefer. That happens a lot. I give you an example. You might have a woman that's that practices Islam. Let's say she's Arab. She's from Jordan, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, any of these countries, right? She come over here, she would take that veil off and put on some damn tight jeans and a shirt, and you probably never know she's Arab unless she tells you. You know what I'm saying? That happens all the time. Or somebody that's from Dubai will come over here, same thing. Take that veil off. She'll get a nose job, dye her hair bleach blonde, and you see her, she looking like a white woman. And you wouldn't know she's an Arab unless you told her. She's just another white woman on the job. But come to find out, she's from Jordan. You know what I'm saying? She's a white Arab. This happens all the time. All the time. This is not uncommon at all. So see, some people when they come over here, for a lot of them, they want to get away from their upbringing and their culture and their country. That's why when some of them come over here, they hardly visit, if ever, and probably never go back again. Because a lot of them can't go back again because they're traitors. You know what I'm saying? That happens a lot. It's not uncommon at all. So you got that going on, and then you have some people, some women that come over here, they just fed up with guys. Period. You have, because you got to realize too another thing. In some of these countries, they have a caste system, right? So let's say, I remember like years ago, I used to work in UPS, and there was a woman on the job. I think she was from India. She's East Indian, right? And every time I would see her, she would smile and flirt and chit chat or whatever. And And I played along with it. But I knew if I was to like make a move, she'd probably be down with it. Right? More than likely. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but more than likely, I think she was the type, she's waiting on me to say something or do something. Because where they from, where she's already coming from a submissive background. You got to realize this. Women aren't aggressive towards men. They don't walk up to a man and introduce themselves and say, "Hi, how you doing? I'd like to get to know you. Take my phone number. We should talk sometime." No. Right? And more than likely, she was married. More than likely. I never actually looked for a ring on her finger, but more than likely, she was married. Right? However, where she's from, it's a strong caste system in India. Right? So based on how she looks, I think she would be in India, she would be considered as white, or at least on that she'd be close on that top of that pyramid as far as the caste system goes, right? Over there. And I think where she's from, the people that look like me, they're on the bottom of the caste system, right? So you don't think that there's a good chance she's looking at me just like she look at the people back at home. Now, can some people separate their way of thinking versus back home to being in the present? Yes, they can. But most of the time, they don't. And the ones that are conscious of it, they usually go back and forth with their way of thinking. On one hand, they're like, oh, he is Black American. But on the other hand, he looks like the people from where I'm from, they're at the bottom. So I know some people personally struggle with this. They've told me they struggle with this way of thinking. They want to be one way, but they grew up, the way they grew up is those thoughts dominate how they think and how they operate. You know what I'm saying? So it's a psychological mindset that a lot of people struggle with. So you have to be aware of this even before you approach somebody and try to talk to them or try to date them. You have to realize where they're coming from, how they grew up, their upbringing, etc. Right? So when those women come over here, their programming is strong. Yeah, their programming is strong where they came from. And just because they left, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to change for the better. In most cases, based on my experience, they usually change for the worse. That's what usually happens. Or some people struggle. They go back and forth. One day it's like this, the next day it's like that. And then you have some people, they don't know who they are. They have identity problems. You know what I'm saying? They have identity problems. They have issues with men. They have issues with their upbringing. A lot of these people can't stand where they're from. They're embarrassed to even mention where they're from. I ran into a lot of that. I remember one time I was in the Navy and this Mexican guy invited me to like a get together, a party, right? House party. And there was about 20 people there, good crowd. House for that size of house, there's actually too many people. It's a small house, 2-bedroom, but 20 people, that's a lot. But the people that were there, I don't think he hung out with them very often, but he was very secretive around them. I picked up on that, because see, nobody would, he never really told anybody where he was from. They know where he stayed now, and which at the time was San Diego, So when I said, "Hey, when the last time you been to Mexico?" He like tapped me. He like tapped me on my arm. So I'm like, "Oh, he don't want me." He didn't like that. He didn't like something about that, right? So once everybody left, it's just me and him. And I was like, "Hey, yo, what was up with that tap on the arm earlier when I mentioned when the last time we went to Mexico?" He was like, "Oh, man, you kind of put me out there, bro. I didn't want them to know that where I was from originally." So I'm like, "Why not?" And come to find out, he's embarrassed to be from Mexico. And there's a lot of people out there that thinks like that. They are embarrassed to where they're from. They don't want to tell people where they're from. Some people lie. Some people like, because some, you got some, especially people that's in the South, like past Mexico, and people that's in like all like Nigeria, South Africa, places like that. Man, they'll lie, and if you ask them where they're from, they'll be like, "Why you want to know that?" I'm like, "Damn, bro, I just want to. I just ask. I'm just curious." You know what I'm saying? It's weird, man. It's like where they from is like a secret or some shit like that. I'm like, damn, bro. A lot of people hate where they're from. I always say nobody hates where they're from more than a lot of these foreigners. I'm telling you, you know, But at the same time, I can kind of understand because there's a lot of scamming and scheming going on in a lot of these countries, and drug selling and guns selling. So a lot of people are kind of embarrassed about that part of where they're from. I guess that has a lot to do with it. But that's where a lot of these people are coming from. That's where a lot of those issues stem from. They have identity issues. They have problem with guys. They come over here. And see, here's the problem with a lot of these women. When they come over here, all of a sudden, this broad on TV talking. Or she's on the internet getting a bunch of views. They're boosting her YouTube channel. And you be like, hey, how the hell this broad get on TV talking like this? Who's letting her talk like this? The producers are letting her talk like this. They're paying her to talk like this. You got people like Candace Owens. She's a foreigner. She came out and said she's from the Caribbean, even though people say, oh, she's a black woman. She's not a black American woman. She's from the Caribbean. See, they prop these people up, had them on TV, local TV, nationwide TV. They on CNN, Fox, They always seem to have a foreigner on TV, like talking for us, like she represents what black Americans should be. I'm like, no. But these producers are behind it. These big networks are behind it. They give them jobs. They supposed to be speaking for us in our best interest. We know that ain't true, but that's what happens. These same women that are propped up to talk for us, they have issues with men. A lot of them are laid up with white guys or have white husbands. I don't give a damn. You date whoever you want to get married to, but don't trash us. That's the problem I have. These women, they have a problem with us. I mean, if you don't like us, well, I don't give a damn. Haul ass. Keep it pushing. But don't use that old lame excuse. The reason why I had to date a white man is because black men ain't shit. I'm like, and it come to find out, this broad from Nigeria with a ring in her nose and all that type of shit. We don't put no ring in. And nobody in my family got a ring in the nose as far as the women go. There's no black woman in my family got a ring in the nose. When I see that, she's Nigerian or from Kenya or someplace like that. That's not really our thing. Not and women in my family, no. And I don't have no foreigners in my family. So that's usually a Nigerian thing. We about ringing the nose and all the weird shit, way of dressing. No, that's as soon as I see something like that, I can tell. I can be sitting in my house and watch a video of a quote black woman talking, and I can tell where she's from based on how she talk, her mannerisms and everything. I'm like, oh, she ain't from here. Oh, Candace Owens ain't from here. I knew that first time I seen her. I knew it. It'd take a genius to figure that out. You know, I mean, the way they dress, the way they talk, the way they walk, the mannerisms, everything. Our swag is different from everybody else. Our charm, charisma, swag is different from everybody else. There's certain things we ain't gonna ever say out in public. We just don't talk like that. We don't say shit like that. There's certain things shouldn't be spoken about out in public, especially on the internet. And whenever you have people saying certain things on TV or saying certain things online, I already know they from someplace else. I already know they have issues with guys. We just don't talk like that. You know, even the hood rats, even our hood rats don't talk like that. There's certain things a hood rat would never say out in public. I mean, and that's the bottom of the barrel type of broad. A hood rat, even she wouldn't say certain things. But these other broads from these other countries, they don't give a shit. They'll say any and everything. They'd be online talking about white men are the best. I love me a good white man and all this butt kissing. That's that foreigner shit. To see where they from, white people is God. Where they from. And I ain't got a problem with that. But just leave us alone. If you want to talk to a white man or a white woman, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. Just leave us alone. Don't make it seem like the reason why you had to get with a white man or white woman is because we're so bad off, or the guys where you from is so bad off, or black men are so bad off. We know it's cap. It's BS. We know it's cap. We know you capping. You just wanted to lay up with a white woman, or you just wanted to lay up with a white man, or both. And see, that's another problem. You got these women from these other countries are laid up with men and women because they have identity problems. Like I said, and they come over here with that nonsense, and they think we supposed to be cool with it, or we supposed to accept everything, all the trash that they bring in. No. We're pushing back on that. We ain't doing that no more. That's the mistake that my parents' generation made. My parents told me, don't make this mistake that they made. See, what happens is you got pockets across this country, New York, LA, Miami, Houston. These are bubbles. What happens in New York doesn't happen nowhere else. What happens in LA doesn't happen everywhere else. See, especially in New York. See, New York, the New York dudes, they have the mindset that everybody's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like we all cool, man. We hanging out. It's a diverse population and all this bullshit. But it ain't really diverse. Y'all just hang out together. And at the end of the night, y'all go back to y'all neighborhood, wherever y'all from. You'll go back to your hood at nighttime, while the other people go back to the goddamn suburbs or the fucking or Manhattan or or Long Island or Staten Island, some shit like that. But y'all ain't sharing the money, so that ain't diversity to me. I mean, shit, laying up with somebody from another group don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's the New York dudes. They think like that. You know, I always say everybody's cool in New York until the police show up. Everybody's cool until the police show up. You know what I'm saying? And I got relatives that's born and raised in New York, and some of them that still live up there. You know, I got uncles and aunts that went up there, and now they moved back home. They came back home because they know it's bullshit too. They ain't gonna say it, but it is what it is. You know. But I remember when I was 16, 17, I used to have cousins that would come down from New York every summer, right? And a lot of these dudes were hustlers back in the day. And I used to always hear them tell stories about how they would go in and out of jail to Rikers Island and in and out of jail all the time, right? But they had this one guy named Spanish Jose. They used to call him Spanish Jose. He was cool with everybody. But I always knew something wasn't right about that dude. You know? And Spanish Jose never been to jail. Everybody been to jail at least once except for him. So I'm like, what? Now this is like, I'm 16 and probably 4 years went by. And they had a raid. The police were kicking doors in the whole block and taking people to jail at the time. And my cousin ended up going to jail. Everybody ended up going to jail, except for Spanish Jose. And I said, man, Spanish Jose is telling on y'all. Y'all too dumb enough to figure it out. I can figure that out, and I'm all the way in South Carolina at the time. But my cousin was like, nah, man, he ain't like that. I'm like, how do you know? If all y'all went to jail and he ain't went to jail and y'all doing dirt together, hey, man, that's suspect in my book, you know. And check this out. Everybody on that block, including my cousin, been to prison for, man, they got football numbers, man, except for Spanish Jose. Spanish Jose, based on what I've heard, is still walking around the Bronx today, South Bronx, still walking around doing the same old shit, same old hustling. And he ain't never been to prison. But everybody else is locked up. You tell me if that ain't suspect. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, everybody's cool until the police show up. When the police show up, old Spanish Jose, he's talking Spanish like, no English. You know, he pulled a white card when the police show up. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, a lot of these New York dudes, man, they kind of in that fantasy world. You know, because they think just because they lay up with a broad that somehow it ain't like it's different in New York. Yeah, it's different, but it's the same. And what I mean by that is everybody hang around each other for the most part to see what they can get. Is the reason why a lot of these broads, a lot of these guys are hanging around us in New York. Because when I go to New York, all I see is a bunch of people hanging around each other for entertainment and seeing what they can get out of each other. It's very transactional. And when the police show up, everybody be like, "Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with all that." They get to telling and shit. All the black people go to jail and everybody else go to prison. So I don't know. That shit don't make no sense to me. You know, some things are different and some things stay the same. So I don't know. But a lot of these people, when they come, you got to realize a lot of these people, when they come over here, they from a cutthroat society. They're from a cutthroat culture. You know what I'm saying? So, and they always tell on us. That's just a part of doing business. That's how they see it. They always tell on us. Always. And every hustler in the streets know this. This is common. When you go to jail, shit get real. When you go to jail, you really see what's really going on. When you go to court, you really see what's going on. So, hey, you might disagree. You tell me what you think. You tell me your experience. Don't tell me how you feel. Tell me your experience. Tell me what you've seen. Like, share this episode. Until next time, I'm out.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Here from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look the same.